One of the stories that is most incredible to me is the Taliban activity in Pakistan. GroundReport has been covering this for a year and a half. We've been getting almost daily reports of increased, militant activity in these areas. We have a very strong constituent base there that's been reporting to us, lots of professional journalists, and only just now has the American media woken up to the fact that, okay, we're in the midst of a major crisis here. But if you had looked at GroundReport a year ago, you would have seen all of the indications that this was set to happen. I just mentioned that I was at the NASA Shuttle Launch, live streaming with an Inmarsat satellite dish and a laptop, just enough stuff that you could fit in a knapsack. That was pretty exciting. Some of the other breaking stories that we've seen, let me try to think. In Zimbabwe, we've been seeing lots of signs of unrest. We have a lot of reporters there who are writing under pseudonyms to protect their identity, but it will be anything from, there's mutiny among Mugabe's soldiers, they want to break away, to general unrest among the public. Things that wouldn't end up in a newspaper in Zimbabwe because people could be in danger, but that we're very happy to publish and sort of counteract all the disinformation out there. We can't really take responsibility because our model is not really giving people assignments so much as allowing them to publish their own work. So in contrast to something like Current TV, we don't send reporters and pay for them to go places and equip them with all these tools, although we will sometimes give people things like flip video cameras, etc. We sometimes do outreach when there's been a breaking event, but it's usually nothing that requires someone to go to the scene of an event, and we're very cautious about, listen, your safety is more important to us than anything else, so never compromise that in any way. We'll usually more take the event and say, okay, what are people thinking about? How do people feel about this? How have you been affected personally? Because that's what sort of takes the event and stops you from sort of glazing over, saying this is some big international issue, and saying, wow, there's some emotional engagement there. That's a real person who's experiencing it. Absolutely. That also plays into the safety question, because you say, oh, are you worried about people being in Pakistan? Okay, these are people who have grown up in Pakistan, and they're probably the safest that anyone will ever be because they have relationships there. So again, that's exactly the kind of mobile or digital or even citizen reporter that we try to recruit, is people who already have their own networks, who are already very connected in that region, are able to speak to people in decision-making capacities at the head of any event that takes place, or able to sort of tell us, here's exactly what the head of the police is saying, here's what the head of the local political party is saying, and maybe they are even part of those political parties, etc. These are the kind of people who will really be able to connect us in a way that a foreign reporter never could, or a foreign correspondent never could. And the other side of that is they can get an answer out of these people that may be much more honest, much more revealing than a foreign reporter. Our goal for working with developing countries is more to acknowledge what the situation is with their technology and sort of take advantage of that in the best way we can. So for instance, in a lot of these countries, the mobile phone penetration is enormous. So instead of pushing them to do live streaming video, which is basically impossible because they won't have an internet connection that's fast enough, we'll push them to contribute via mobile phone or to post reports that way. So we'll really focus on the mobile capacities. So in basically every region in the world, there's different ways that we interact and different tools that we encourage people to use.